WOD 3 for Viking Wars will be done on the biggest indoor sports court in Australia. You will do 4 stations, and after 4 stations you will complete a 75 metre prowler push. Then once you've done your 4 stations and the prowler pushes, you'll finish with a prowler suicide sprint to the end, call time, and that'll be the end of the workout. Let's have a look at how the workout flows. For the first station, one athlete from your team will complete 30 burpees to a plate. On completing 30 burpees to a plate, the same athlete will then push the prowler 75 metres, which is 5 laps of a 15 metre course. While the athlete is pushing the prowler and completing the burpees, the rest of the team must stay behind the first station. Once athlete 1 has completed their reps of burpees and have finished the prowler push and has pushed the prowler past station number 2, the judge will signal and the rest of the teammates can then run up to station number 2 and start working. Station number 2 is 30 reps of dumbbell thrusters. One athlete will complete all 30 reps. Once athlete 2 has done all 30 reps of thrusters, they will then start the prowler push, which is again 5 laps of a 15 metre course, while the rest of the athletes will wait behind station 2 until the judge signals at station 3. Once athlete 2 has finished their prowler push and has pushed the prowler past station number 3, the judge will signal and the rest of the teammates can run forward to station 3, and athlete number 3 will start working on overhead lunges. Athlete 3 will complete 40 reps of overhead lunges. Once athlete 3 has done the lunges, they will then start another 75 metre prowler push, while the rest of the teammates will wait behind station 3.
Once athlete 3 has pushed their prowler past the 4th station and finished their prowler push, the judge will then signal the rest of the team to come up, and the next athlete, athlete 4, can start working at station 4. They're going to do 40 reps of a kettlebell sumo deadlift high pull. Once they've done their 40 reps, they will then move on to the prowler and complete their 75 metre prowler push.
When athlete 4 has completed their 75 metre prowler push, the judge will signal the rest of the teammates to run to the end of the court. They will then run to the end of the court. Once all the teammates are there, the team will complete a suicide prowler sprint until they get back to the very start. Athlete 1 will push first, they'll push past station 4, turn around, push back to the end of the court. Then you'll push to the 3rd station and back, then station number 2, and then all the way back to the 1st station. Once you get to the 1st station, you'll call time, and that is the end of the workout.
So let's talk about the standards for the prowler push, starting with the suicide sprint. You're going to rotate in order. So once the 4th athlete has completed their prowler push, athlete number 1 will start the suicide sprint, followed by athlete 2, then athlete 3, and then athlete 4. So we'll have a look at it. Athlete 1, let's say that the prowler is just pushed over the line by athlete 4. Athlete 1 jumps in and they do their prowler push. They can push as far as they like, as long as they stop on any 15 metre interval. So let's say athlete 1 goes up and back from the 1st station. Number 2 will then push, again, as far as they like. So let's say athlete 2 pushes past the 2nd station. They're going to leave the prowler there to tag out. They have to run, tag athlete 3. Athlete 3 can then run out to where the prowler is, and then they start pushing the prowler. If they're at number 2 going this way, then they just continue doing the suicide sprint. You can stop wherever you like as long as it's at a 15 interval, which means one athlete could do the entire sprint if they wanted, but that's going to be up to you and your teammates to decide when is the best time to switch. While one athlete is pushing the prowler on the suicide sprint, all the other athletes in that team must remain behind the line at the end of the field until they are tagged, and then they can start on the next run.
The weight on the prowler for the entire workout is 60 kilos for guys and 40 kilos for girls. Let's have a look at the rules around changing weights for the suicide sprint. Let's say a guy pushes the prowler, they get to a station, they decide they want to rotate and the girl is next in line. They must take a 20 kilo plate off the prowler, run it back to the end of the court, tag the girl. The girl will then push as far as she would like. And once the girl has reached a 15 metre station and is ready to swap, she will run back And if a male athlete is next, tag the male athlete who must run out with the 20 kilo plate, put the 20 kilo plate on the prowler, and then push. They are the rules around swapping weights on the prowler for the suicide sprint. Let's have a look at swapping weights on the prowler during the stations. Let's have a look at changeover of plates on the prowler in between the stations. Let's say athlete number 1 is a guy. He's completed his 30 burpees at station 1 and he's now completing his final lap of 15 meters, and he's finished his 75 meter prowler push once he's passed station 2. The judge will then signal for the rest of his team members to run forwards. Athlete 2 is a girl, and athlete 2 will complete her 30 reps of thrusters. Okay, once the athlete 2 has finished her thrusters, one team member must take the 20 kilo plate off the prowler before athlete 2 starts to push. Let's say athlete 2 has now completed her 75 meter prowler push and has pushed the prowler past station 3. The judge will signal for the team members to run forward. One athlete must carry the plate with them at all times. If a guy is going next, then the athlete will put the 20 kilo plate back on the prowler. If a girl is going next, athletes can hold on to the plate until a guy pushes the prowler again. You cannot let the plate touch the ground at any point. If you do put the plate on the floor, then the athlete pushing the prowler must immediately stop, perform 3 burpees before continuing. The girl may choose to push the prowler with 60 kilos on it if they please. This workout will be run with an 18-minute cutoff. If you do not finish the workout within 18 minutes, you'll receive a score based on the checkpoint you last crossed before the 18 minutes. Let's have a look at the movement standard for burpees. You must get your chest to the floor, which means nipple line or above to touch the floor. Get up however you like, and finish on top of the plate, under control, with your knees and hips at full extension. Things that don't count are not getting the top of your chest to the floor. Just like that. Another thing that doesn't count is not reaching full extension on top of the plate. That does not count. You may get down onto the floor however you like, provided that your chest touches the ground. You can get up off the floor however you like, and you can get onto the plate however you like, provided you reach extension under control.
Alright, let's have a look at the movement standards for the dumbbell thruster. The dumbbells will be on the ground. You need to get them onto your shoulders before you start your first rep. If you squat clean thruster your first rep, then that is a no rep and it will not count. Now, the range to count, you need to get the crease of your hip below your knee clearly at the bottom, and then you need to get locked out at the top so that the dumbbells stack directly over your heels, arms locked out, hips locked out, knees locked out. Now, things that will not count, if you're short at the bottom, so you do not hit your depth, that will not count, that's a no rep. If you don't lock out over your heels at the top, even if your arms are straight, for example those are left out in front, then that will not count as well.
Let's have a look at the movement standard for the lunges. The plate will start on the floor, you'll get it above your head. For the entire rep, the plate must remain above your head. You'll step out, get your rear knee to touch the floor, and then you'll finish the rep with both feet together in the starting position. Things that do not count are resting the plate on your head. That will not count, that's a no rep. Not getting your back knee to touch the floor, that doesn't count. And not returning your feet back together before starting your next rep. That does not count. Let's have a look at the movement standards for the kettlebell sumo deadlift type. The kettlebell will start on the floor. It must always touch the ground between your feet or behind your feet at the bottom of every rep. You'll then jump the kettlebell so that it's in line with or above your collarbone. Things that do not count are not jumping the kettlebell high enough, so if it does not reach the height of your collarbone, that does not count. If you do not touch the weight on the floor between your feet at the bottom of the rep, then that does not count. There is no requirement to have the elbows above the kettlebell. Have your elbows wherever you like, as long as the kettlebell reaches your collarbone and touches the ground at the bottom of the rep. When do I start? Is 5 laps of a 15-metre track, while the rest of the teammates wait behind station number 2. Kathy, you're pushing the wrong way.
Take 2. Once athlete 3 has passed the end. While any athlete is pushing the prowler on the suicide sprint, all the other athletes in the team must be waiting up against the net or behind. While one athlete is pushing the prowler on the suicide sprint, all the other athletes in that team must remain behind the line at the end of the track.
So let's say athlete 2 has done their 30 thrusters. They'll then complete their 5 laps of 15-metre prowler push. Once they have finished their 75-metre prowler push and got it just past. See you later. Air high five. This does not count. This does not count. That does not count. And you'll jump up, and you'll jump on top of the plate and finish on under. Sorry.